If I was to start cycling completely from scratch, here's what I would do to get back to the level that I am today in as quick as a time as possible. So if you're a beginner cyclist and you're actually looking to improve on the bike, this video is for you. My name is Ely. I'm a CEO cyclist coach. Let's dive in. First thing I would do, let's actually say you haven't even bought a bike yet. First thing I would do, of course, buy a bike. But buy a cheap bike. And there's a couple of reasons for this. If you're anything like me, most people aren't, but if you are anything like me, you're likely the type of person who would go out and buy the most expensive thing because you like to have quality items. I'm the kind of guy who goes out and buys the most expensive wallet or the most expensive pen, or in this case, the most expensive bike, most expensive jeans, whatever you want to call it. I don't even wear jeans. Most expensive clothes, because I like to have quality items. Oftentimes it's not even the most expensive, it's just the highest quality, highest rated item. I did that same thing with cycling. I bought the most expensive bike as a beginner cyclist. Granted, before I did that, I did buy a cheap entry-level gravel bike, and I actually just made sure I enjoyed the sport. You don't want to spend tens of thousands of dollars on something that you're not actually going to enjoy. So I went out and bought very cheap giant gravel bike. Can't even remember what, maybe a Revolt or something like that. Completely entry level. I don't know if you guys can hear. The dogs barking in this country are ridiculous. I'm in Romania right now. Anyways, I made sure I actually enjoyed the sport before I went out and completely immersed myself into it. So make sure you enjoy what you're doing first. And that goes into point number 2, which is just start riding. Before you actually start training, it's best to go and find yourself. Find out what kind of riding you actually like to do. Are you a gravel rider, a road rider, a track rider? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Are you a climber? Are you a sprinter? What are you naturally good at? And you'll be able to tell. You might be confused, but you'll be able to tell if you are really good at climbing, or if you can produce a lot of power in a very short amount of time, or if you have a lot of endurance. You'll be able to tell what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are, but only if you ride. No structure, just go out and ride. And I always advise this for new cyclists because that's the most important thing you can do. Ride in different disciplines, ride on different roads, ride in different things. Are you the kind of person who likes an adventure? And this is not just the type of rider you are, but actually what's fueling you, because cycling is all about having fun. Otherwise, it's never going to last. So find the thing that really fuels you and motivates you, and just like you find a lot of fun. For me, it's that sense of adventure. I love going out to a new country like this and riding on new roads I've never been on and exploring. Others, it's the socializing aspect. As you may know, cycling is a very social sport. There's group rides happening every weekend and for some people every day. And being able to connect with others and network and socialize is great for anything, you know? Yeah, you can make friends, but even on the business side of things, I've had clients who have sold houses and put $300,000 deals together on a bike, which is really cool. So there's huge aspects for the social. Then there's also if you're an analytical rider, you like to see how you improve time after time after time. You like to see your numbers trending upwards. If you are a competitive rider, you like to ride and break records. Perhaps Strava will fuel you. So essentially, find out what kind of rider you are and what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And the only way you can do that is by riding more. Number 3 is accessorize one thing at a time. And here's what I mean by that. It's very tempting in cycling to just go out and buy everything all at once. Buy the heart rate monitor, buy the power meter, buy the computer, now there's a temperature sensor and sleep sensors and everything that you could possibly find. But the problem with that is you'll get hit with this huge information overload. So my professional opinion as a coach is one thing at a time. First, buy the bike computer. Once you understand that and how to use it, then you can buy the heart rate monitor. Once you understand what your heart rate is and you can connect your heart rate with your perceived exertion, being okay, my threshold or that time where I'm pretty out of breath is, let's say, 170 beats per minute, and you understand that, then you can do a power meter. Then you could put actual power numbers to the heart rate. Then you can get the temperature sensor if you really want to. It's not even necessary. And one thing at a time will actually help you to maximize the benefits of each thing because you understand why you're buying them and what the numbers mean, what the information it's giving you means. Because information without understanding is useless. After that is where you can actually start to train. And training is going to depend on a number of factors. For example, this is why you need to do the prerequisite steps. What kind of rider are you? If you are a track rider, you're going to be riding differently than an ultra endurance cyclist, which is going to be riding differently than a gravel rider. So once you understand that, you have to also know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Again, all of this stuff is prerequisites before you can start to train. And if you want to actually train with purpose, purpose, then you have to have a purpose to train towards. Meaning, put some kind of goal in your mind. Set a goal. Maybe it is an Ironman, or maybe it's a 100-mile ride. Maybe it's a big climb that you want to set the KOM on. Maybe you just want to be the fastest in the group and stop getting dropped. Have a goal in mind and then work backwards from that. And everyone's training plan is going to be different. Yours is going to be different from Ahmed, who's going to be different than David. So know what it is that you're actually looking to train and then start training that. And I would say, if I were you, get help. And this is just like without any kind of selfish interest, the fastest way to skip the learning curve and to see the results that you want to see is investing in help. It doesn't even have to be investing, but going out and finding someone who has done the things that you want to do, has made the mistakes that you're likely to make, and can advise you on what not to do. You can hack the learning curve and save so much time and actually maximize the time that you're spending training. And a part of this is actually just going out and putting yourself through different experiences. So if you have a goal of, let's say, completing a 100-kilometer race, go out and do smaller races to learn the skills and learn the etiquette and make mistakes. The more you do that and the more of these kinds of experiences you put yourself through, the faster you're going to learn and the more skills you're going to actually get. Because you don't want to be a rider who has the fitness but doesn't have the skills. You want both. The skill set actually helps you to utilize your fitness and to express it. The same way that if you are on an expensive bike, the fitness allows you to unlock the potential of that bike. And a commenter on my post the other week said, unlock the potential of yourself. So if I were cycling from scratch, just bought a new bike, and didn't know what to do, how to train, how to improve, that is the step-by-step roadmap for what I would do in order to get stronger and faster on the bike from scratch. Hope this helps. If you are a CEO cyclist, someone who's in business, just took up cycling, maybe you took it up to lose weight and you accidentally fell in love with the sport, go ahead and follow my account because I help cyclists like you, entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, get faster, stronger, leaner, lose 10 pounds and put 30 watts. You probably don't know what that means yet. Maybe you do, but 30 watts on your FTP in the next 12 weeks. So glad to have you here. And as always, my friends, catch you next time.